Hey there, friends. So I'm going to do a little video here to show you just a few things that you can do if you have just a few minutes to really help to correct posture, restore posture, and a lot of benefits can come from this. We'll just put it that way across many different types of symptoms. So I'm using a medicine ball here. I've actually got a couple medicine balls. I'm sitting on one too. And I encourage everyone get two medicine balls. All right. Start out with probably one that's about maybe 10 pounds, one that's about maybe 20. Here I've got a 20-pound one here, and I'm sitting on a 30-pound one. So the idea is you see what I'm doing with my squat, though. Since I'm on this ball, I'm able to really rest. And I'll move it back a bit so you can see. So that kind of helps me to just relax into my squat and feel the posture. And then this ball here in my hands on top of my knees, it's like I'm giving myself a massage here with my elbows. So in here, this is the attachment for my psoas and on the inside of the knee here. So a lot of times that can be tight. Giving myself a little massage without having to expend any energy, really, because the 20 pounds is doing the work. So my structure is what I'm expanding here with the help of gravity and this weight, okay? So let's just say we only have 5 minutes. That's all we have the whole day. And we know that our posture is not great and that our breathing is not exactly proper, all that. And we want to do the best we can with the 5 minutes that we have. Well, if you can get into a squat at all, try to get down into it. And if you need to, if you get two medicine balls, or you can sit on something else if needed. But ideally, you can even kick it out. And we're going to work up to this. So let's just assume that you can get down at least into a squat like this, like me. Okay, and my feet are flat on the floor. I'm hunched over here for a second, but I'm going to settle into it. I'm just taking my time here. I'm going to take quite a few breaths here. So I'm going to take about 12 just in this position right here with my hands on the ball. Oh yeah, now I'm starting to sink down. My elbows, massaging my knees, inside my knees. Pushing my elbows down. Feeling my crown of my head extend up. So let's say we do about 12 breaths here. Then we go from here. We can even take it now and hold it like this, like we're having a baby down here. Now let's really hold it down. Like you see how I have it here. I'm interlacing my fingers. I'm leaning forward and purging breath out. Come back to my squat. Feel this really weighting me down. Feeling my perineum and relaxing with my breath. Again, I'm putting the weight of my forearms now really on my quads. And I'm giving myself some good self-massage, these tight quads from sitting. I can even go back and forth a little bit on this foot, over to this foot. I'm using the weight of the ball here. I'm not using my energy to press into my quads. Oh yeah, quads are relaxing. Oh yeah, quads are relaxing very nicely. And I'm really starting to feel my pelvis relax more deeply into this position. A bit of forward tilt that was occurring in my pelvis is now relaxing. Say we get 12 breaths here, okay? Or whenever we're ready, we can move on. Now we're going to come back up to here deliberately. Take a breath out. Another breath in. On the next breath out, we're going to send the ball up and put it on the head. Now we really start to feel it. This is really forcing the crown of my head to go up and a bit even back. And it's not important to hold it on here without our hands like this. But this kind of helps me relax. Twelve breaths. Now I'm going to come down. Relax it right here. Allow my head to really relax down. Roll the ball on the back of my head as I feel I need to. About 12 breaths here. Always purging breath out through an open mouth. Last breath, come up. Now we're going to go to the third eye. 12 breaths. Smile at the sun. Back to the crown. Now we're going to come up to horse. Bring the glutes into it. Oh yeah, felt my sacrum just relax deeply. Nice pop. Upper thoracic spine extending. Crown of the head extends up to the heavens. That right there we can do anytime. If we can add to it from the standing position here, if we've got a couple more minutes from here, we can go from here, slowly engaging the glutes. Really turn on the glutes. And feel everything in the legs working, really. Back line of the legs. Feel the glutes really turn on for 12 breaths, halfway lift. Feel the medicine ball extend to the head. After 12 breaths, slowly come down. Armpits over knees into a little ball. Oh, I felt my lumbar just really relax right there. Let the weight of this ball bring my head down. Relax it. Feel my whole spine extend.
slowly back up. Okay. Feeling that upper thoracic spine, the back, really extending. And here we settle into this center standing pose here, Tadasana. We are pushing the ball straight up to the heavens for 12 breaths. We call it our wuji posture. Feet are straight, pointing straight ahead. Knees slightly bent. Hips width apart. Everything's stacked. Shoulders relaxed, and the crown is extending up to the heavens. Believe me, with this medicine ball, you can't help it. And when we're ready, we complete this by going slowly, sending the third eye up to the sun. And rotating the ball to the front, to the third eye, very gently. If you're starting out, you might have to hold it like this with your hands, not let all the weight get here because it could be really tight here. You're going to strengthen all this. 12 breaths. Okay, that is the opposite of sitting. If you want to reverse sitting, do that. And here's one more I'll show you. You can do all these together or any of them separately. This one I call medicine ball ballet. I'm pushing the 20-pound medicine ball up. I have to have perfect posture. Throughout every single one of these movements all around me, I have to have perfect posture. I go 3 times around each leg. The standing leg is the one that's working the most. Glute medius. Really reduces lower back pain to strengthen that muscle. The knee and the meniscus, the ankle, very, very much becoming strengthened. Switch over, take a pause in the middle. Purging breath. Breath in, and we switch. 3 times around each way. This is a 30-pound medicine ball at my feet. 20-pound on my head. I recommend if you start out, if you're in good shape, start with maybe a 10-pound ball on your head. Or even just a weightless ball, like a basketball, like something that weighs barely anything. The point is to feel something up there to push it up. And then once we start to get strong, we can get even stronger and stronger and stronger. So the appearance of my face keeps getting younger and younger and younger because I do this. And I don't get a lot of other symptoms because I do this. I'm reinforcing my posture from the inside out, strengthening it. And letting go of anything that my posture is holding on to. Any patterns through that breath. So deliberately taking the ball, putting it down, not spending much time holding it like this because we don't need to be stressing out the muscles in front here. We're already doing plenty of that. Here I'm going to read a little bit of the inner Canon. And then I'm going to do another movement here in a bit. So for me, this is just a nice little movement sandwich. Or I guess it's a wisdom sandwich. and the movement is the bread. So however long that took, well, it says 15 minutes. So maybe that was about 15 minutes of movement. Okay, it went by pretty quick, but you could break any of that up. You could do any one of those little things, and it's going to help you so much to reverse the sitting. Okay? We can talk about all what that means another time. But the point is to show you, to let you be inspired by some new ways to move. And now we're going to take a moment and read from a wonderful translation of the Yellow Emperor's Inner Canon, or Classic of Medicine, as it says here, as it reads here. This is by Maoxing Ni, PhD, and I've enjoyed reading it so far. I'm starting at chapter 1, though, for this series. So the idea is there will be a sort of audio podcast or something you can listen to eventually where you can get all of this entire book, audio, read by me for free. So chapter 1 is titled The Universal Truth. In ancient times, the Yellow Emperor, Huangdi, was known to have been a child prodigy. As he grew, he showed himself to be sincere, wise, honest, and compassionate. He became very learned and developed keen powers for observing nature. His people recognized him as a natural leader and chose him as their emperor. During his reign, Huangdi discoursed on medicine, health, lifestyle, nutrition, and Taoist cosmology with his ministers, Qibo, Lei Gong, and others. Their first discussion began with Huangdi inquiring, "I've heard that in the days of old, everyone lived 100 years without showing the usual signs of aging. In our time, however, people age prematurely, living only 50 years. Is this due to a change in the environment? Or is it because people have lost the correct way of life?" Qibo replied, "In the past, people practiced the Tao, the way of life. They understood that the principle of balance of yin and yang, as represented by the transformation of the energies of the universe. Thus, they formulated practices such as Tao Yin, an exercise combining stretching, massaging, and breathing to promote energy flow, and meditation to help maintain and harmonize themselves with the universe. They ate a balanced diet at regular times, arose and retired at regular hours, avoided overstressing their bodies and minds, and refrained from overindulgence of all kinds. They maintained well-being of body and mind. Thus, it is not surprising that they lived over 100 years. These days, people have changed their way of life. They drink wine as though it were water, indulge excessively in destructive activities, drain their jing, the body's essence that is stored in the kidneys, and deplete their qi. They do not know the secret of conserving their energy and vitality. Seeking emotional excitement and momentary pleasures, people disregard the natural rhythm and order of the universe. They fail to regulate their lifestyle and diet, and sleep improperly. So it is not surprising that they look old at 50 and die soon after. The accomplished ones of ancient times advised people to guard themselves against Zeifeng, disease-causing factors. On the mental level, one should remain calm and avoid excessive desires and fantasies, recognizing and maintaining the natural purity and clarity of the mind. When internal energies are able to circulate smoothly and freely, and the energy of the mind is not scattered but is focused and concentrated, illness and disease can be avoided. Previously, people led a calm and honest existence, detached from undue desire and ambition. They lived with an untainted conscience and without fear. They were active, but never depleted themselves. Because they lived simply, these individuals knew contentment, as reflected in their diet of basic but nourishing foods and attire that was appropriate to the season, but never luxurious. Since they were happy with their position in life, they did not feel jealousy or greed. They had compassion for others and were helpful and honest, free from destructive habits. They remained unshakable and unswayed by temptations, and they were able to stay centered even when adversity arose. They treated others justly, regardless of their level of intelligence or social position. Huang Di asked, when one grows old, one cannot bear children. Is this due to heredity or due to the loss of one's procreative energy? Chibo answered, in general, the reproductive physiology of woman is such that at 7 years of age, her kidney energy becomes full, her permanent teeth come in, and her hair grows long. At 14 years, the Tian Ku, or fertility essence, matures. The Ren conception and Chong vital channels responsible for the conception open, menstruation begins, and conception is possible. At 21 years, the kidney energy is strong and healthy. The wisdom teeth appear, and the body is vital and flourishing. At 28 years, the bones and tendons are well developed, and the hair and secondary sex characteristics are complete. This is the height of female development. At 35 years, the Yang Ming / stomach and large intestine channels that govern the major facial muscles begin to deplete. The muscles begin to atrophy, facial wrinkles appear, and the hair begins to thin. At 42, all three Yang channels, Tai Yang, Xiao Yang, and Yang Ming, are exhausted. The entire face is wrinkled, and the hair begins to turn gray. At 49 years, the Ren and Chong channels are completely empty, and the Tian Kui has dried up. Hence, the flow of the menses ceases, and the woman is no longer able to conceive. In the male, at 8 years of age, the kidney energy becomes full. The permanent teeth appear, and the hair becomes long. At 16 years of age, the kidney energy is ample, the Tian Kui is mature, and the Jing is ripe, so procreation is possible. At 24 years, the kidney qi is abundant, the bones and tendons grow strong, and the wisdom teeth come in. At the 32nd year, the body is at the peak of strength, and functions of the male are at their height. By 40, the kidney qi begins to wane, teeth become loose, and the hair starts to fall. At 48, the yang energy of the head begins to deplete. The face becomes sallow, the hair grays, and the teeth deteriorate. By 56 years, the liver energy weakens, causing the tendons to stiffen. At 64, the Tian Kui dries up and the Jing is drained, resulting in kidney exhaustion, fatigue, and weakness. When the energy of all the organs is full, the excess energy stored in the kidney is excreted for the purpose of conception. But now, the organs have aged and their energies have become depleted. The bones and tendons have become frail and stiff, and movements are hampered. The kidney reservoir becomes empty, marking the end of the power of conception. Huang Di remarked, I notice, however, that some people, even though they are quite elderly, can still conceive. Chibo replied, this is because these individuals inherited an unusual abundance of Jing and also realized how to lead their lives properly and protect their vitality. At 64 and 49, for males and females respectively, these individuals still have excess kidney energy, as well as qi and blood, so they still have the capacity to procreate. However, men past the age of 64 and women past 49 have normally lost this ability. Huangdi asked, if a wise one who follows the Tao is over 100 years of age, can he or she still retain the ability to procreate? Chibo answered, yes, it is possible, if one knows how to live a correct way of life. Conserve one's energy and follow the Tao. Yes, it is possible. One could procreate at the age of 100 years. Huangdi inquired, I've heard of people in ancient times, spoken of as the immortals, who knew the secrets of the universe and held yin and yang, the world, in the palms of their hands. They extracted essence from nature and practiced various disciplines such as Daoyin and Qigong, and breathing and visualization exercises to integrate the body, mind, and spirit. They remained undisturbed and thus attained extraordinary levels of accomplishment. Can you tell me about them? Chibo responded, the immortals kept their mental energies focused and refined and harmonized their bodies with the environment. Thus, they did not show conventional signs of aging and were able to live beyond biological limitations. Not so long ago, there were people known as achieved beings who had true virtue, understood the way of life, and were able to adapt to and harmonize with the universe and the seasons. They too were able to keep their mental energy through proper concentration. These achieved beings did not live like ordinary humans who tended to abuse themselves. They were able to travel freely to different times and places since they were not governed by conventional views of time and space. Their sense perceptions were supernormal, going far beyond the sight and hearing of ordinary humans. They were also able to preserve their lifespans and live in full health, much as the immortals did. There was a third type of person, known as the sage. The sages lived peacefully under heaven on earth, following the rhythms of the planet and the universe. They adapted to society without being swayed by cultural trends. They were free from emotional extremes and lived a balanced, contented existence. Their outward appearance, behavior, and thinking did not reflect the conflicting norms of society. The sages appeared busy but were never depleted. Internally, they did not overburden themselves. They abided in calmness, recognizing the empty nature of phenomenological existence. The sages lived over 100 years because they did not scatter and disperse their energies. A fourth type were natural people who followed the Tao and were called naturalists. They lived in accordance with the rhythmic patterns of the seasons, heaven and earth, moon, sun, and stars. They aspired to follow the ways of ancient times, choosing not to lead excessive lifestyles. They too lived plainly and enjoyed long life. So, if you are interested in learning more about this and developing what was discussed in here, Qigong practice and Daoyin and things like that, Wednesday mornings, 9 a.m. Pacific time, there's a live stream on this channel, YouTube channel, and we'll also be on other platforms if you're following me. Wednesday mornings, 9 a.m. Pacific. And that Qigong flow is meant to help with pain relief, injury prevention, mental health, all of it. So it will help you in so many ways just to start incorporating the things that you're going to learn from that hour into your daily life. And what I showed you before I read this chapter is more of like things that you can do kind of throughout the day, like little bits of movement. Just do any one of them. Pick a yoga pose with a medicine ball on top of our head. makes a huge difference. So to end this sandwich here, because it is a movement sandwich, as I said, I'm going to set this up here and show you a couple other ways to move. Something you might have seen more kind of conventional compared to what I showed you at the beginning of this live stream. Here I've got my, can you see that right there? That's one of these ab roller guys. So what I do for my morning routine is I wake up, I come right in here, and usually I get right into a deep squat like I showed you at the beginning of this live stream with the medicine ball. I like getting into the deep squat to start, then go up to standing, then down to halfway lift, turning on my glutes, then down to the ball, then coming back up, doing the medicine ball ballet. And then from there, I actually go to ab roller. So I'm going to show you the ab roller, and then I end it with Superman's. And that's one set. On my good days, I do 3 sets of that. So it takes me like solid 20, 30 minutes to do 3 sets of all that. And then right after that, I go into a cold shower, and I take 108 purging breaths in the cold shower. Sometimes I'll be doing strengthening or balancing breath by the end because I'm just not cold at all anymore because it's so amazing. But usually I'll be purging big time in the cold shower because it's a lot to deal with. And I may do a video on that here soon. So 12, I like to do about 12 of the ab roller. I like to really take my time going down, breathing it out, expanding my posture on the first one, and then purging breath out. Come back up. So if I do 12 of these, nice deliberate movements, 12 purging breaths all the way out. I really like to think of this as breath work as much as core work. That's 4. And when I get down here, I'm working all these muscles, and I'm also stretching them, the ones that I'm working. And then work them all the way up, and then come back, and then relax them too. So a lot of people, I think, when they're working out, they're overstressing themselves and doing maybe more harm than good. We've got to remember the purging breath, and there's 3 movements. There's 3 things that we want every single muscle and tendon to be able to do. We want it to be able to relax, and we want it to be able to perform its function, contract, and we want it to be able to stretch and even increase the range of motion. All 3 of those things, though. So in my movements, I'm doing all 3 of them. I'm actually relaxed right now, right? I'm speaking to you, so I'm breathing in. Feel my belly button. And then I'm working, but I'm not holding on to the tension. And by the time I'm up here, I'm fully relaxed. What do I got? 6 more? And the normal pace I'll do is about like this. I'll show you for the rest of the way. I like to look up, extend my neck. Losing count, but maybe a couple more. All right. Moving deliberately over to the next is the Supermans. So maybe you know about Supermans. Let's see if you can see me down here. Okay, good. So Supermans, the idea here is we're like working everything in our back here. And when I pick up my head, I'm not going to pick it
up like this. I'm not going to go up like this. I'm just going to go up like this. Just like barely up like this. Not like this, but like this.
Okay? So I'm really keeping my spinal posture intact. And just going to let my head lift up a bit. See if, got it. Okay, it looks decent. Take off my hair tie here so it's not a ball on it. Breath in.
Now here, folks, if the Superman's too much for you, this is actually a great position right here. You can just stay just like this. Elbows down on the ground. Getting this right here. All this movement right here. Then you can even take the ball and keep your arms on the ground.
Make sure you can see me, okay? And then instead of making it more difficult like a Superman, so this is like for beginners right here. You take the ball, pick it up, just put it here, just hold it. See, I don't even have to have all the weight on my head, just whatever I can handle. And then here I can let my head go down, and then up, pick it up, down, up. And it's good if I stretch out my triceps like this, stretch the triceps. And I can hold the ball right here like this as I need to. And I can just work little push-ups with my head like this. Reverse sitting. Okay, this is
good either way. That's a good one either way. Okay?
But if you can do Superman's, the Superman is more like this right here.
And I do 12 breaths.
And then I do 12 pulses, and then I hold it for a 12 count in my mind, which is probably more like 5 seconds. So we're going to breathe into the nose, ball on the head, and then everything goes up. Hold it up. Then I'll come back here to the stretch of the triceps. Breath out. This is usually how I end it for me. I'll hold it here, stretching my tris. Then if I need to, I can just go like this. I can put my right ear on my right bicep. That feels good. That actually feels like a nice massage on my bicep, but I'm going to go over here, and the idea is I'm going to put the medicine ball on my left ear. Go into a twist. You will never need a chiropractor once you are able to do this. Build some basic strength around your neck. Start out with basketball or just your hands around your head. Okay? Then come over here. Do the same over here. Ball on my right ear. Again, twist. She got another pop. Another. Better than any chiropractor could ever do it. Coming from within. And then we come down. Now I get the shoulder. And the twist. This medicine ball should take over the internet. It's how to become your own chiropractor and body worker and postural correction specialist. Because the only way that you can have this thing on top of your head is if you have good posture. So if you keep checking out this channel here, I'm going to do another video soon of what I call medicine ball walking. I also have medicine ball marching, and you saw medicine ball ballet already. This is kind of funny. Let me, boom. Medicine ball walking, though, is very simple. It's just exactly like you think it is. You put the ball on top of your head, Hands on top of the ball. Okay. Around your house, or even ideally outside. Get outside and just walk around. Walk around your neighborhood. Okay. Having the arms up like this, all this extension is great. We never get this up here. This is collapsing for people. Plus the ball is on top of the head. Everything up here is being worked and everything below is being worked because it's all got to hold everything up. So simply walking just like this, I'm going to do a video with a few things you can do just on a nice 5, 10, 15-minute walk. And I do it. I've been doing it once or even twice a day, about a 15-minute walk with the medicine ball on top of my head, a 15-pound one. This one's 20. But I walk my dogs. I've got them in my hand here, and I got the other hand up, holding the ball. And I just, wherever they want to go, I walk with them. And they stop to go pee or something, and I just get down, I just relax and get into a nice halfway lift and work my glutes while they're doing their thing. Just let them do their thing. Then I come back up after 12 breaths, and then we walk along. And then after a bit, with it on my head, when I feel like it, I'll put it on I'll let it roll to my third eye. I'll send my third eye up to the sun. Stick my tongue out, smile. 12 breaths while I'm walking. Okay? This is going to be a huge help for anybody, for anything almost. Okay? Now, you try it at home. Go very slow. If you're starting out, I say your first month, medicine ball on top of your head, 10 pounds maybe. Just put it on top of your head and don't do anything other than have it right on top. Don't try to go sideways or put on your ear or anything like that. Just give yourself a month of straight up and down, very relaxed, and going slow. The whole idea is consistency. I've been doing this for over, I think I've been doing the medicine ball for a couple of years at least now. It might be 2.5 years. I have to think about it, but I started doing the Supermans with the medicine ball on top of my head. Next thing you know, I was doing the ballet that I showed you. And, well, I've got a whole lot of other stuff to show you. We'll just put it that way. So feel free to ask me any questions. This has been a wisdom sandwich with movement bread. And at the beginning, we did a nice little routine that will be great for postural correction, getting you deep into functional movement, resisted by a medicine ball and gravity. In what I think is really a brilliant method that I hope people start to take and just start to work with it and let me know how it goes, because this should put a lot of practitioners out of business. Let's just put it that way. Practitioners who are out there, and look, I went to chiropractor for a long time. For years, I was going once a week. Even for a while, I was going every few days, and they would pop me and crack me, but they would never tell me what was going on or really help me. They would take my $50. And you know what? I learned now, after everything I've learned, that it's better for it to come from within. Okay. I can take your arm and manipulate it and put it in the right position and help you feel a lot better. And if you go from that point and reinforce that, that will help, and you'll have long-lasting benefits. But I can only meet you halfway. If I do this for you and then you go on and live the same way, same patterns and everything, you're not going to be changing anything even in the medium term, right? So having it come from within is what we have to have for real healing, and it's possible. Okay, get yourself 2 medicine balls, subscribe to this channel, follow me, whatever, and we're going to have a lot of fun developing this together over the next year or so. It's all going to be free content. Please work with me to help me develop this, because I think I've only introduced this to maybe 10 people, and I need hundreds. I need hundreds of people having it on top of their head and confirming for me that this really does help a lot, and that the injury potential is not that great. I want to make sure this is safe for people, okay? Especially for older folks. I work with a lot of older folks, and for example, people with diagnoses like scoliosis and things like that. They might not start off with a 10-pound ball on their head, okay? And I want to make sure that we have everything tailored and people understand this is where I am right now and this is how I need to proceed starting from here, and not just jumping in and then next thing we know, we've got somebody has hurt themselves. You know, there's all these tendons, and, you know, it's not the end of the world if it happens, but it's going to set us back a month or two or whatever as it heals up. We would rather take our time, build the basic posture. Even if we only do this, we're going to do a whole lot of good for ourselves. We don't need to do anything else. So check it out, healingisfree.com. I would love to work with you one-on-one. We can find out what are your symptoms, what are you experiencing, mental, emotional, physical, all of it. Talk to me. We will apply a Qigong mindset and type of understanding that we get from this book right here as our main canon. By the way, this is from 300 BC or so. And taking that along with everything I've learned from my many thousands of hours with my hands working with people's physical body, plus almost a decade in Iraq, in combat, in the military, as a medical platoon leader, 3 tours. I've seen a lot, okay? And I can tell you what will help you. And this right here is going to help you so much if you can start to build a basic daily routine. If you miss it one day, that's okay. Keep getting up and doing the best we can each day that the sun comes up. But get yourself a couple medicine balls. Subscribe to this channel. We're going to do the breath work, postural correction. We're going to have a Qigong mindset and framework. And we are going to start thinking about things in a different way that's going to really help you across the board in your whole life. So thank you so much. Go to healingisfree.com if you want to work with me, and we can tailor this specifically to your experience.